As BBC Cymru Wales celebrates 50 years of broadcasting, lose yourself in an evening of classic television from the archives.
They think I've got a good voice, so I'm very pleased. I'm filling up.
You are smart, you are.
Get the boys over here for a final briefing before we go over the top.
They're in the palm of my hand, you know?
Starting at 8:30 with Tom Jones at 70.
Who are Welsh Valley's voice.
BBC Cymru Wales at 50. Tonight on BBC Two Wales.
As you can see, we're in a nostalgic mood this evening as we mark 50 years since Wales's first national television channel was switched on. So do stay with us over the next few hours here on BBC Two Wales. It all starts with a documentary about a pop legend and international superstar, which follows shortly.
Filling up.
Don't we all just love a little nostalgia? As BBC Cymru Wales celebrates 50 years of broadcasting.
And then your battery pack fell out then.
Chris Corcoran takes us on a unique journey down memory lane.
Come on, boys, are we going down the rugby club?
1, 2, 3.
I hate most human beings.
Corki's TV Gold. BBC Wales at 50.
Max Boyce is coming.
Terrific.
Tonight at 9 on BBC Two Wales.
Noswaith, good evening and welcome to a very special night here on BBC Two Wales as BBC Cymru Wales celebrates 50 years of television. You've just had a preview of Corki's TV Gold at 9, but before that we start the evening now with a documentary first shown in 2010, exploring the life of a Welshman who's been in show business for over half a century.
Some TV Gold from the vaults on BBC Two Wales, celebrating 50 years of BBC Wales. And just starting, Tom Jones at 70, a documentary from 2010 exploring the life of this extraordinary performer. Here on BBC One Wales right now, Nick Knowles with more big money lists and those National Lottery draws.
We're not quite 70 yet, but there's plenty more to come this evening here on BBC Two Wales as we continue to celebrate 50 years of Welsh television. It's all very retro, as you can see, and if you fancy some more nostalgia, you'll find plenty online. Just use the hashtag BBC Cymru Wales 50. And speaking of nostalgia, there's a whole hour's worth to come as comedian Chris Corcoran guides us through funny and entertaining moments from the last half-century of BBC Wales television. Corki's TV Gold is in just a moment.
For all the highlights, analysis and reaction to Wales's defeat in Dublin,
they're over the line, they claim the try.
Watch the Scrum 5 Six Nations special.
It must be, it is!
Tomorrow night at 7:10 on BBC Two Wales. The Six Nations 2014. All together now.
We revisit the cult Valleys comedy High Hopes in an hour here on BBC Two Wales for interviews with the creator, director and stars of the show. That's after we continue to mark BBC Cymru Wales' 50th anniversary with a warm and witty journey through 5 decades of Welsh television.
This is BBC Cymru Wales. Now, a treat for viewers across the nation as we join comedian and broadcaster Chris Corcoran for a look back at 50 years of BBC Wales. So with the time approaching, generic o'clock in case this programme gets repeated, it's good night from me, Chris Corcoran, and from all of us here at BBC Cymru Wales. Nostar. I'll leave you with the national anthem.
If you enjoyed Corki's TV Gold, do visit Chris Corcoran's blog on the BBC Cymru Wales website. Next, we continue to relive half a century of Welsh television by revisiting High Hopes, before another chance to see Grand Slam at 10:30, followed at 11:30 by a profile of actor and entertainer Ryan Davies. And looking ahead to tomorrow, the celebrations continue on BBC Radio Wales. Join Roy Noble and his guests at 10:30. At 2 p.m, Gareth Gwynn looks back using the bits of the documentaries left out. Then at 5, revisit highlights from the life and career of popular Welsh broadcaster Chris Stewart. I mentioned Chris Corcoran's blog on the BBC Cymru Wales website, and it refers to one of our programmes this evening as one of the greatest films of all time. Yes, you can forget the Six Nations. It's all about the Five Nations in half an hour, as BBC Two Wales gives you another chance to see the 1978 comedy drama Grand Slam. Right now, though, we continue to mark 50 years of Welsh television with a celebration of the cult Valleys comedy High Hopes. We hope you're enjoying all this nostalgia this evening as we celebrate 5 decades of Welsh television, and there's more to come here on BBC Two Wales. The life story of Ryan Davies is in an hour after the ever-popular Grand Slam in just a moment. Noswaith dda, good evening, and thank you for being with us here on BBC Two Wales as we mark 50 years since Wales's first national television channel was switched on. And if you're a bit down in the dumps tonight, maybe after that Six Nations defeat earlier today, this should cheer you up nicely. With some sexual content, we go back to 1978 now for Grand Slam. We have one more programme for you here on BBC Two Wales as part of our evening marking 50 years of Welsh television. From Ryan and Ronnie to acting with Richard Burton, the life story of Ryan Davies follows shortly.
When life on the streets becomes tougher than ever,
I gotta get into an hostel at night, but I ain't priority, see. I'm in bits.
What does it take to turn your life around?
Got a family out there. Thank you.
We're back in Swansea to find out.
I have to be a man about it. A man or a mouse.
Swansea, Return to the Streets, starts Monday night, 10:35 on BBC One Wales and on HD.
Don't forget the hashtag BBC Cymru Wales 50 if you have any thoughts on what you've seen this evening, or what you haven't seen for that matter. And remember that there's plenty more on our website. But we end our evening of nostalgia here on BBC Two Wales with a profile now of an unique comedian and entertainer whose life was cut tragically short, Ryan Davies. Well, once again, thank you for being with us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed what's been very much a labour of love for us here at BBC Cymru Wales. And as we continue to celebrate 50 years of Welsh television, you'll find plenty more online, including a trip in pictures from the 1960s to the 1980s, a guide to how a TV channel comes together, and a montage of idents, such as this one. So all that's left for me to say is, enjoy.